in the room itself, you have the purpose statement here in the podcast. You have how to dissect journal articles, which will help you here and in your comps. One of the things as I grade comps is that people can find journal articles, but you have to analyze them. You have to take a moment and look back and see, what is this trying to tell me compared to my topic? What is this trying? That's always, no matter what you're doing in this project and the rest of your classes before then, you want to be able to synthesize the information given to be able to relate it back to the topic. So if my topic is self-efficacy, and I'm talking about teachers have to have self-efficacy to be able to teach students, very basic, not on the right lines. My journal article that I pulled was an article on how teacher efficacy and enjoyment of classrooms build student motivation. How does that relate back to my main idea of the topic, and how does it relate back to my main idea of that paper that I'm writing? Back to that main question. So dissecting the journal articles is the first thing. How does it fit into your paper? The second thing. And then can I synthesize it with a sentence or two that ties it back to the important topic? This will boost your grade in your comps tremendously. You have an example of how to dissect a journal article. You have a worksheet here that you can break down your journal articles. And I'll go into more detail later on. Okay? You need to have 10 to 15 peer-reviewed journal articles. What does that mean? Anywhere in your paper that you can put a citation. So as you're doing your introduction, you can easily get 5 or 6. So you write your introduction, okay? Then you pull out the main topics. Then you find journal articles where you can find definitions of your information. You can find almost anything that you need, okay? Anything. So let's say I'm talking about I'll stay with self-efficacy. If I say Teacher Self-Efficacy by Bandura 2007 is defined as, okay, there are journal articles by Bandura out there that tell you about teacher self-efficacy. And there's a lot of information in those. When I go to talk about my studies, so I'm doing a correlation study. So I find a article that talks about correlation studies, and they say the correlation study is examined to focus on the scores of 2 variables. Well, it came from a journal article that you put in your citation page. There's 2 right there, easily done. Okay, primary source. Primary source is you have found that article. You need to take it from another article. And it's peer reviewed. What's peer reviewed? Came from a journal article that's peer reviewed. That means some other peer had reviewed it before it went in. The other side of that is the Sporting News, Newsweek. Any of those are not peer reviewed journal articles. Okay, newspapers, not a peer reviewed journal article. Okay, this is where you'll find most of the information for your paper. You can use a citation in any part of the paper, but it must come from the recent literature, and is peer reviewed.